Hey! So I thought I'd do a video about my top 10 cartoons. So I've mentioned this on this channel before, and if you follow me on Tumblr, you will know this for a fact, but I really love cartoons. I watch a lot of cartoons. A lot of my life is taken up by cartoons. Also, check out this cool shirt my sister got me for Christmas. I thought it was pretty relevant. So let's get started. My number one cartoon is Detention, which is something no one's ever heard of. It's about this kid named Li Ping who goes to a school in sort of a weird fantasy version of Toronto, and on the first day of 10th grade gets framed for a huge prank that someone pulls, and he doesn't know why or who pulled it or why he's been framed, and he's trying to figure out why. And it pretty quickly goes from fun high school mystery to absolutely insane conspiracy theory show. I might be biased, but it's my absolute favorite cartoon. It got cancelled on a huge cliffhanger, so the one downside is that you will be left with a lot of questions. But it's such a good show, it's absolutely worth it. It also has amazing diversity of characters. The main character is Korean, one of the other main characters is a Cuban immigrant. It's a really, really good show, and it really deserves a lot more attention than it gets. So you should go check out Detention, it's amazing.
Seriously, dude, come on. Would I even try to pull off something this epic without your help? Or start wearing bras without telling you?
Okay, point taken, you didn't do it.
My second one on this list is my current favorite cartoon, which is Steven Universe, which is on this shirt. You've probably definitely heard of Steven Universe if you're spending any time at all on the internet, because it's really popular at the moment, and with good reason. It's literally about lesbian aliens who save the world. It's about this kid named Steven who's kind of the reincarnation of his mother, who is part of an alien species who are all based on gemstones. It's really cool because all the aliens are women, and they're all really awesome. If you're looking for a show with really well-rounded, interesting, fun female characters, absolutely Steven Universe has that. It starts off pretty much like a fun kids cartoon show, and then really quickly becomes an absolutely amazing show with a lot of character depth, a lot of amazing plot, and right now they're basically trying to save the world from an alien invasion. If you haven't checked out Steven Universe yet, you absolutely should. I mean, who doesn't want a bunch of cool space lesbians?
And you're fun to have around, even if your gem is useless. I mean, you're one of us, Steven. We're not the crystal gems without you.
My third one is also one you've probably heard of because everyone's into it right now, and it's called Gravity Falls, which is also on my shirt. It's really fun. Similarly to Detention, it's a big conspiracy mystery show. It's about these two kids named Dipper and Mabel, and they're twins, and they go spend the summer with their great uncle, or their grunkle, Stan, and he owns the Mystery Shack, which is sort of one of those like weird tourist traps in this small town. And then Dipper discovers a weird journal talking about all the supernatural things going on in Gravity Falls, and it really quickly goes from a fun story about two kids spending the summer with their great uncle to weird conspiracy mystery things with a giant sentient Illuminati eye named Bill, who's trying to take over the world. The finale is actually coming out next month. So if you haven't checked out Gravity Falls yet, go check it out now, watch it, and be there for the series finale because I'm sure it's gonna be absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see what the creator has next because this show was awesome.
Hey, family! Say hello to my new boyfriend!
Sup?
Hey!
How's it hanging?
We met at the cemetery. He's really deep.
So my fourth one is maybe objectively the best cartoon I've ever watched. It's Avatar. I think most people have heard of it, not Avatar the Blue People, Avatar the Last Airbender. It's about a kid named Aang who is the Avatar. In the world of Avatar, there's people called benders. They can bend air, earth, fire, or water, which means they can control it with sort of magic power. And Aang is the Avatar who can control all of them and is supposed to bring peace to this world. It's a really epic show. The characters are really fun and funny. There's an amazing balance between humor and amazing plot. There's a lot of moral dilemmas, and it's just a really epic adventure. It's beautiful, it's incredibly well made, and it's absolutely some kind of cartoon classic. Also, Avatar has a sequel called The Legend of Korra, which isn't as good as Avatar, mainly because it's absolutely impossible to live up to how amazing Avatar was, but I still absolutely love Legend of Korra. It does a good job of being a sequel without trying to be exactly the same as Avatar. It definitely has a different feel, it has different characters and a different plot, so while it exists in the same world, it's quite different. And there's canon lesbians, which is an absolutely amazing turn of events, so I would definitely check out Legend of Korra if you haven't, and Avatar if you haven't, because those are absolutely fantastic cartoons.
Okay, first time flyers, hold on tight. Appa, yip yip.
Number 5 is one that if you watch cartoons at all, you've definitely heard of, and it's called Adventure Time. I actually have an Adventure Time poster on my wall. Ta-da! It's been around since like 2010, and it really influenced a lot of other cartoons. The creator of Steven Universe actually worked on Adventure Time first, and a lot of the other things on this list are very kind of inspired by Adventure Time. Adventure Time really started kind of a revolution in cartoons, I think, and it's absolutely fun. It's about this kid named Finn and his brother who's a dog, and they have adventures in the land of Ooo. And similarly to the other ones, it starts out as just kind of weird, fun adventures, and then slowly becomes an absolutely insane plot about the apocalypse, and Finn's dad coming from space and taking his arm, and also there's a sentient piece of candy who's in love with a vampire, and they're lesbians. It's great. You should watch it.
Hey, you know what time it is?
Adventure Time?
No, time for 7 Minutes in Heaven. You're first.
Really?
Lady Raycorn in the closet with Jake.
뭐? 나? 웃겨 정말.
The sixth one on this list is probably one that no one has ever heard of because no one knows this show. But it's called Extreme Ghostbusters, and it is the cartoon spin-off of the cartoon spin-off of the Ghostbusters. It's really weird. It's from the 90s. It's about 4 kids named Kylie, Garrett, Eduardo, and Roland who are in college and take a class on the paranormal, which is being taught by Egon from the Ghostbusters, and then they become the next generation of Ghostbusters. You would think a spin-off of a movie wouldn't be that good, but I absolutely love this cartoon. The 4 main characters are funny and fun, really diverse. Also, the monsters and ghosts in this show are absolutely terrifying. There's literally an episode about clowns that eat people. It's horrifying, but really cool. So go check out the Extreme Ghostbusters and fall in love with these 4 characters the same way I did.
You know, busting makes me feel good. I'm afraid of no ghosts.
The 7th one, it's a little bit older. It's Danny Phantom. A lot of people I think have heard of this one as well. I haven't watched this one in a long time, but me and my sister watched all of it a few years ago and absolutely loved it. It's about a kid whose parents are ghost hunters and he falls into a weird portal and half dies and becomes part ghost, part human, and he kind of becomes a superhero who fights ghosts with his friends Tucker and Sam. It's just a really fun cartoon. It doesn't have as much of a plot as the other ones. It is really just fighting the monster of the week, but it's a lot of fun, and it's still one of my favorite cartoons to this day.
Oh, darn it. If my dad can invent something that accidentally made me half ghost, why can't he invent something that turns me back to normal?
So my 8th one is another one that I watched when I was younger with my sister. It's Invader Zim. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Invader Zim as well. It's about an alien named Zim who comes to Earth and tries to take over Earth. Earth is a very strange and creepy place in this show. It's a really weird and creepy show, kind of dark and edgy, and sometimes it goes a little overboard with that, but that's what makes it so charming and fun. I think anyone who was watching cartoons in the early 2000s definitely watched Invader Zim and enjoyed Invader Zim. It's a really fun show about aliens. It has a really weird and neat aesthetic. And it's definitely something you should check out if you haven't already, because Invader Zim is another one that's kind of a classic and also really influenced a lot of cartoons that are coming out now when they have sort of a more weird and creepy vibe going on.
Grr, we're here. We're finally here.
Ooh, what's that? Planet Earth.
Number 9 is also one that's on my shirt. It's Over the Garden Wall. Over the Garden Wall came out, I think, 2 years ago now. It's only a 10-part miniseries, but it's an absolutely amazing 10-part miniseries. It's almost like one really long animated movie. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's visually beautiful. It has a really nice little plot. It's very well contained. When you get to the end of 10 episodes, you're gonna want more, but you're also gonna be happy that it was such a well-constructed 10-part series. It's about a boy named Wirt and his younger brother named Greg, and they're adventuring through a strange forest, and you don't really know what's going on until the end, and that's kind of what makes it so fantastic. It has a very fairy tale feel to it, and also is kind of reminiscent of Miyazaki films. It has lots of talking animals, and beautiful scenery, and strange characters, and strange meetings. It's really fun, and whimsical, and mysterious. It's a really nice thing to watch in the fall as well. It has a sort of Halloween fall feel to it. Maybe if you haven't watched it already, wait till October, or a day when it's quite cold and fallish, get a cup of tea, and maybe watch it over a weekend. It's absolutely beautiful, and I would highly recommend it.
What are we doing out here?
We're walking home.
Greg, I think we're lost. We should have left a trail or something.
I can leave a trail of candy from my pants.
No.
And number 10, Phineas and Ferb. This is maybe the most silly, goofy, more kiddish of these cartoons, but Phineas and Ferb is also just an amazing show. It's really one of the funniest. It's very smart funny, even though it's very silly. If you haven't heard of it, it's about 2 boys named Phineas and Ferb who are stepbrothers and like to invent weird things. And every episode is just them creating some weird invention while their pet platypus fights evil with his nemesis, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, which is just as ridiculous as it sounds. It's really silly, it's really funny, but it actually has really likable, amazing characters, and you will fall in love with the platypus and the evil scientist. Absolutely. It's a good cartoon to watch if you don't really want a heavy plot and you just want fun things happening and a lot of running gags. It's a really long show. It actually just recently ended. And if you watch all the episodes, there'll be a lot of running gags and it's really fun to watch them for that. There's also funny music numbers that are actually really good. The creators are good at writing really funny numbers. It's just an absolutely hilarious show that's really worth watching.
Phineas and Ferb are gonna do it all.
Mom! Phineas and Ferb are making a title sequence!
Yeah, so those are just a few of my favorite cartoons. Like I said, I watch a lot of cartoons. That's definitely not all the cartoons I watch, and it's probably not even all the ones I love. I could be forgetting some here. If there's any on this list that you hadn't heard of before and that sound interesting to you, you should go check them out, you should watch them, and you should let me know what you think. So you should leave a comment below and either tell me what you think of these cartoons or what your favorite cartoon is, or if there's one that you really love that I haven't mentioned. I might make another video about more cartoons if I remember a whole bunch more or if I start to discover some new ones. So if that sounds interesting to you, maybe subscribe. Bye!